Hey guys, it's Alex here with another 5-minute video. This one's going to be about the types of work and how to categorize work. And I was with some of the Agile community last week, and there's an advocacy there to say, well, the type of work should then dictate the type of team and team archetypes, and that does tend to happen, but it needn't do. I think, but the recognition of the types of work and the tools that you need to get that work through the system is really, really important. So I want to talk about that a little bit now. Before we do, let's talk about how we categorize work at the moment. And traditionally, we'd be looking at job types. So even if you're like an electrician, you'd still categorize the job types by the size, the type of customer, the location, the skills you're going to need to complete that work, whether you're going to be just doing the service or whether there's products involved, and the tools and the process you're going to do to do it. All of those are ways of categorizing work. But the one you might want to do is you might want to group work like that. And there could be lots of mistakes made if you said, well, not if you're necessarily on the road, location would be important. But if you're not, there's probably an arbitrary way to say, well, there are Sydney users, so we're going to put those into that team, and those are our London users, so we're going to send those to that team. That wouldn't make sense. So you've got to really try and avoid the arbitrary categorization of your work, but think about it from a customer's point of view about how you might want to categorize your work. And that's what I'm going to do now. So when we do think about our work, really one of the examples I think about all the time is that the old anecdote about the person who works into a hardware store and says, I need a drill. And the smart ass goes, actually, you need a hole. So that's how we categorize our work. We think about whether we're providing drills or whether we're providing a service around the holes. So have a think about that and about the outcome that you're going to get from the interaction you have with the customer. So when we do that, we really do want to break this down into, this is my IT background, and then I'm thinking ITIL or Scrum, or what sort of framework would I put in place? If I'm going to be a service-orientated team, I'm really going to deliver what the customer wants. I need a drill. Okay, well, I'll deliver you a drill, and I'll have characteristics that just deliver that service. It's repeatable. I'm going to go into the characteristics of that in a second. Maintenance is very, very similar. Where I already have my drill and I need it fixing, or there's an expectation from a service that's already been provided and it needs to be maintained, or something broken and it needs to be fixed. That's maintenance. So there's also preventative maintenance there as well, like upgrades. And then there's the thing that mostly Agile focuses on, which is the enhancements and the improvement of products and delivering desired outcomes. The customers sometimes don't even know the outcome that they want. We're being innovative and delivering customer value. And that's where we tend to start. But I'll talk about the balance of this work in a minute and why those other tools exist and why we often are flooded by it. So that's how we categorize it from a customer's point of view. Let me go a little bit more into that. So if you're looking at service-orientated work, so you really, the characteristics of service-orientated work is it's small, it's repeatable, it's very time-sensitive. You've got to get that customer service in time. You get high to maintain customers, so there's a certain amount of interpersonal skills needed within your team. Maintenance work is very, very similar. The customer already has the prescribed solution, but it's not working in the way. So again, it tends to be smaller stuff. It's not always repeatable because it's kind of unique and in its nature, or challenging in its nature. So your team needs to be very highly skilled, but they also need those interpersonal skills as well. And the timeliness of this is even more important than the service. Enhancements and innovation and making the products better is a different skill set. The customer has a desired outcome, and you're going to use the skill set within the team to provide a new outcome. So it's not repeatable. The guys in the team have to be have to be experts, but they don't have to have so much of the interpersonal skills, and they're really a lot more creative and innovative. So when you've got those three work types, you might have one team, small team that delivers more. You might separate your teams up to deliver those different types. The tools that you would use and the teams and the skills that you'd have in the team are different. And here's the bit that's difficult. You've got a balancing act here. To be able to scale, you need to focus on the big thing, the enhancing your products and services and innovation. That's how you will scale as an organization. If you spend too much time servicing and maintaining, you're not going to be able to grow. You can only service and maintain so many people. The economy doesn't work like that. You need your economy of scale to go towards your products and service enhancements. So understanding your work types is important. Getting the balance is even more important. And in Agile, we try and focus more on the enhanced products and services and less on the service and the maintenance. And if you get good practices in place, like regression testing, etc., you will be able to focus on the enhanced products and services. Thanks very much for listening. Another video through, work types done. Visit the website for some of the concepts about how to get better at being Agile.